What is up, guys? Beancrew49 here. We are back on the Desolation map. And I've left Chinatown. Are you disappointed? Are you sad? Are you angry? Probably not. You're probably sick of Chinatown, just like me. I'm getting sick of that Chinatown. Back to the Jump Tower. Neglected Mr. Jump for a little bit, okay? I've actually neglected downtown a lot of it. And I've been spending so much time on the nightlife part of town. Oops, I made a little mistake. I made a little mess. I've spent so much time on the nightlife part of town that I've just kind of neglected downtown. And as you know, downtown is going to take some of the most labor intensive I don't know, it's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, and I need to really focus a little bit more on downtown in conjunction with Chinatown. Chinatown's going nowhere, you guys know that by now, but I just love to work on it so much that I'm not going to just debate. Anyway, what am I talking about here? I know last time I was here I kind of promised that I would do a little bit more work off camera, and I kind of failed. Okay, let me just take you show you what I have on this floor so far. This is like the floor for like companies to like rent out, I guess, or maybe just, you know, any events, right? You know, conference, whatever. This is sort of like a lounge area. I did do this off screen. This is all new to you, so I did a little bit, but not like what I was planning. Yeah, but this is like a ballroom is what I'm trying to say. So here I got a conference room. This is for conferences, and you know, this is old stuff. This has been around for a while. I just thought I'd show it to you, refresh you, get you up to date. This is where the corporate fat cats, the big wigs, they come to sit and lord over their, I don't know, discuss stuff. What I want to do here is I want to start a restaurant. And this is going to be like maybe a buffet style. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be a restaurant. And I just wanted to have like an air theme. You know, we're up in the sky, so it's like you'll see. I'm not going to finish it today, quite finish it, but I'm going to do as much as I possibly can. As you can tell, we're in fast forward super speed motion. That's because today's Monday, and Monday's Creative Question of the Week time. The time of the series where I answer questions that you guys put in the comment section below. This week I didn't receive too many comments. I actually took to Twitter. I got a lot of good questions on Twitter, but I really need you guys to come through with the questions. This is where you get to be a part of the series. You know, you get to have your social media shouted out. You get to you know, put your input on these videos. So be sure you leave a creative question of the week in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer it. All right, so I would appreciate that. This week's question comes to us via Twitter, and it comes to us from Stormzix. You guys know Stormzix. He did the beautiful Moist nightclub. If you haven't gotten and seen Friday's video where I do the Moist tour, you guys need to go check that out right now. Shout outs to Stormzix, and he had a great question today. And Stormzix says, if you had to write a fictional book, what would it be about? And would you ever consider going through with it and publishing? Oh, great question, Stormzix. I really saw this question. I was like, oh, yes, this is the one. So thank you so much, Stormzix, for your question. Go follow Stormzix on Twitter and say hi. Okay, so, yes, I'm a writer. So I've definitely thought of ideas for books, and I've thought of publishing books, and you know, I've written a bunch of short stories and things like that, but what I want to do today is run an idea past you guys and maybe see what you guys have to say about it. What do you guys think? I got an idea for a book, and I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna tell you the whole thing, okay? You guys are gonna be my sounding board, and I want to see what you guys think about this. So also put in the comment section what you think about this story that I'm about to tell you. All right, it's story time, friends. Everyone sit down, grab your chocolate chip cookies, and prepare for story time. Okay, this is my idea. Let me know what you think. So my idea is going to be based on Earth, and this is a story that's going to take place over the history of Earth. Okay, so it's going to start at the beginning, before man ever existed on this planet. And before man existed on this planet, there was a race of beings who existed here before man. And these beings are what you would call negative polarity beings. They're kind of evil beings. And what they do is they feast on negativity. They thrive on negativity, you know. Whereas a positive being thrives on love, these beings thrive on fear, hate, and you know, that sort of thing. And they need something to feed off of. So, you know, they're an advanced species. Like, they're not like beasts. They're advanced in technology and science, and they're logic beings. They're very good at logical things. So what they do is they biologically engineer a race of other beings, and they're going to use these beings as a food source. And they create these beings, and they call them humans. And so they engineer these things called humans, which explains why there's a gap between monkeys and man, right? There's a huge missing link. That's because that's explained by these beings. They were able to genetically engineer humans. And they developed these humans to basically feed them their negative energy. And so what they want to do is they want to make sure that they have a food source. And they're not eating the bodies of humans, because I forgot to mention that these beings exist in the fourth dimension. They're fourth dimensional entities. And what that means is they don't really have physicality. And so, they exist in a dimension that is, that has no time and no place, basically. There's no physicality. I don't know how else to describe it. So they make these physical humans so that the humans can go about their lives, living their lives. And what these beings are going to do is they're going to feast on the humans, on the negative energies that the humans create. And humans, by nature, we're kind of fear-based people, but not really. So what this race of beings is going to do is they're going to they're not just going to allow humans to be humans. They want to manipulate humans. Like I said, they're very intelligent beings. They're very logical. And they're not just going to allow humans to go about their lives, because that wouldn't maximize the amount of negative energy that these humans put out. Because like I said, these beings... let me describe these beings, by the way. They're, though they have no physicality... they can manifest in the earth realm, but it's not easy for them. Like what they would look like is sort of almost like what you would think of like as a demon. They're kind of like, they got horns, right? They're kind of reptilian in nature, and they're basically just the worst depictions of demons that you can imagine. They're ugly, they're hideous, they have no light, there's no love with these things. They're just pure hate, pure fear. And so they feed off of this fear and this hate, but they're not just going to let humans go about their business, because the humans won't put out the maximum amount of fear and maximum amount of hate. So they give these humans 6 senses, right? But the sixth sense is the one that allows them to perceive these negative beings, but they don't want to be perceived, because it's a lot better if they're in the shadows. If the human beings don't know they're being manipulated and they're being farmed for negative energy, then the better. They don't need to know about it. So what these evil reptilian looking things do is they kind of manipulate human society, and they manipulate human society in a way to which humans kind of lose that sense that allows them to perceive these negative beings, right? They no longer can see them, because they're these evil beings, these evil reptilian beings, they're manipulating human society because they're much smarter than the humans and they're more advanced. And so they create a religion which, promotes more fear. They promote competition between the humans and make the humans fight each other. They manipulate wars between the humans. Basically, all the negative energy that humans can possibly do, these things are in the background manipulating, and they want to stay in the background. So they manipulate human society in a way that humans kind of lose touch with that sixth sense, and they can no longer perceive these beings, and they don't even know that they're being farmed. Sort of like in the Matrix movie, people don't know that they're being harvested for their energy. Well, these things are doing it. They allow humans free will, and humans can go about their business however they want. But these things are always like in the shadows, the puppet masters, right? And they're manipulating the puppets, and they're creating wars, and they can still, impact the human society. And even though they can't really, they can't exist in that 3D realm, the 4D realm is still like working in conjunction with the 3D. I know this is getting complicated, but stick with me, okay? So basically, that just sets up the premise. That brings us to the present. So for the entire history of human beings, they've been manipulated by these evil entities, which were on Earth before humans were, and it's a situation where the humans don't even know they're being manipulated, because that sixth sense that allows them to perceive these evil beings is gone. It's bred out of them. And the story's going to revolve around maybe one person. And this is a regular guy. He's just Joe Schmo. He's maybe like he's a plumber or something. Haven't worked out the details of that yet. But he's just like a regular guy who, watches UFC or, it's, football on the weekends. Goes out and has drinks with the fellas, right? Not knowing that he's basically a battery for all these negative entities who are just, always around him. And as they are always around us, every one of us, us being the human population. And so one day he has like an epiphany, and like maybe he has a vision or he has a dream where he sees the reality of the world for what it really is. And maybe he catches a glimpse of one of these evil reptilians, and he sees it just sucking out energy from like the sun's. Like maybe there'll be like an incident where like he's walking down the street and he sees a fight, and these two people are like come to blows, and they're almost trying to kill each other. And while they're fighting, maybe something like he has a vision of like a reptilian like surrounding these two people, like sucking out that negative energy. Whenever there's a fight, there's a lot of negative energy swirling, and there's just this evil reptilian just sucking. He's loving it, and he's like whispering in the ears of each person, like, no, hit him again, right? Just trying to promote this violence so that he can feast on it. And this guy sees it. He's had an epiphany, and now he sees reality for what it is, and he can't shake that vision that he had. He can't shake it, and slowly he starts to realize, just like Neo in the Matrix did, that he's living in a world where he doesn't really know what's going on. Like everything he knows about reality is wrong, and he wants to go back to his real life, or to his old life where he didn't have to worry about these things. But once you see something like that, you can't go back, right? So now he realizes that it's his job to tell everybody, right? And of course you're going to tell that to someone, and what are they going to say? Evil beings are sucking out our energy. They're promoting drug use. They're promoting wars, right? They're promoting religions, and and people look down at him, and they think he's crazy, and people threaten to take him to a mental asylum. But all the time he's seeing reality for what it is, and he just like he starts to go nuts because no one will believe him. Yet he sees it as clear as day, and it's his job to wake up the planet. And I think where this story is going to head eventually is that he'll become like a leader, and eventually the humans are going to go to war with these evil reptilian beings. But it's this guy, this little plumber guy, who realizes, he has an epiphany, and he knows that the only way to beat them is to be filled with love and light, right? These beings feed on negative energy, so going to war with them, fighting them, like having aggression towards them is exactly what they want, right? And he realizes that the only way you can beat these negative entities is to fill your life with pure love, and basically not give them any more food, not allow them to feed on you. And once you're not a battery for them anymore, then they'll go find another battery, and you don't have to worry about them anymore, right? And it's this guy's mission to spread that message through all of humanity. And humanity's been a warlike race for hundreds of thousands of years. I don't know how long have humans been on the planet. I don't know. So it's a tough thing to learn, but it's this guy's job to teach the humans. And this is a saga that spans millennia, and this guy will be reincarnated into person after person over the years, and maybe the story would follow his incarnation process to one where he's always a spiritual leader for the humans, and is an unassuming guy, and you never expect it from him, but he leads humanity into the next step of evolution, where they can finally get rid of their captors and live in a peaceful, harmonious relationship with each other, where there's no more wars, there's no more countries, there's no more fighting, there's no more manipulation, there's no more drugs, no more alcohol, right? It's just pure love and people being their true creative selves. Okay, and that's my story. And so it's a story that spans millennia. I don't know as far as getting that published, I don't know about that, Stormzix, but there's an idea. What do you guys think of that idea, huh? Any good? Is it too cliche, too done before? I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. And Is it like anything you've heard before? Does it ring true? Does it resonate in some way? I love to hear what you guys have to say about that, what you have to think about that. It's very important that this story revolves around Joe Schmo, just an average guy who suddenly wakes up to the truth. And, hopefully, people can put themselves in his shoes. What if you knew a secret that only you knew, but you knew was true and no one else knew, and it was so crazy, so different than what people are expecting or used to that no one would believe you? How would you feel? What would you do? Put that in the comment section as well. I'd love to hear how you would respond to being in a situation like that yourself. All right, so I want to thank Stormzix and everyone else who left a creative question of the week in today's or last week's video. I really do appreciate that. I want to appreciate all the love and support you guys gave me for video 1000. It's been 1,000 videos. Man, what a crazy journey this has been. I can't believe we've done this together, guys. It's nuts. I really do appreciate all your support and everything you do. So thank you very much for that. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you haven't already. Happy Minecrafting. I'm stuck. Peace.